Hi there, people. Now, you probably don't know this since I've never mentioned it before, but I am a huge fan of the Doom series. I've played Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and Doom the Dark Ages. Still have yet to finish that one. Anyways, I also like this show called Helluva Boss. It's like a spin-off of Hazbin Hotel. If you don't know what it is, you can just look it up right now. Anyways, today we're going to be playing a well, it's not really a game per se. It's more of a virtual webcomic, but like its layout is similar to Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah, its layout. It's like UI layout and such similar to that. Now, there's just a bit of an issue. Sometimes the game's music is loud at times. Oh yeah, there's also an issue to where I just can't see my cursor. I don't know why. But if you can see here, yeah, the settings are in Russian. Yeah, it's just weird, but I don't know why. So, this is called Helluva Doom, and it's the demo. Now, how long is the demo? I don't know. But I will say, though, just as a warning before we go on, there is swearing, and yes, I will say the swears, because, well, yeah. Because it's not really it if I don't say the swears, but I'm not going to say anything that's going to be way offensive, okay? Okay, so, Google Gaming here, and time to go. Oh my god. They got the Doom Eternal intro, that's good. I'll just shut up and let you listen to this. Tear until it is done. Love that always. Oh, but I will say this does end off after Doom Eternal's this does end off after this does like expand after Doom Eternal's ancient the Ancient Gods Part 2 DLC. So if you don't know what it is, then spoilers for that. Anyways, I intentionally turned down my desktop audio and the music, so we'll see if that's better. Anyways, people, here goes. The dust had not yet settled on the ruins of the other Earth. The mega body of Davov, encased in shattered armor, lay within a massive, gaping crater. Black blood had already begun to seep into the red sand. Doom Guy stood over him, his hair plastered to his forehead with sweat and blood, the crucible in his right hand still slightly smoldering. His breathing was heavy, but steady. Victory. Another one. The last? Suddenly, the world flickered. At first, he thought it was fatigue. His vision darkened as if someone had turned off the lights. Then his head spun so violently that he had to lean on his sword. His lungs burned with cold, then heat, as he had been thrown into a furnace and then immediately to iced water. His knees gave way. Doom Guy tried to take a step back. He was too late. The portal lunged at him like a predator. The last thing he saw was a scarlet light filling his vision and a sensation as if he were being turned inside out. Then, darkness. Oh my god! Help me! Help me! Yeah, if you could tell some of my stuff's my dialogue, yeah. Meanwhile, Hell, the Wrath Ring, the Wastelands. Now, I'm sorry if some parts sound weird, as copyrighted music might have been playing. So, yeah. Anyways, let's continue on. The IMP van bounced over every bump. Red dust worked its way to every crevice. The AC had died ages ago, and the interior reeked of sweat, gunpowder, and energy drinks. God damn it, where the fuck is this place? Well, let's shove the map back to Moxie. We've been driving in circles for an hour! Sir, you were holding it upside down, and for the record, this is the 5th time we've passed that same Campbell skull. Ugh, fuck this map, fuck this vacation, fuck it all! Blitz slammed his head against the steering wheel, making the van lurch. Some vacation this is! We should have stayed in the office, at least we'll have some actual paying clients. Millie popped up between the seats, leaving a bottle of something fizzy and clearly alcoholic. Aw, come on, y'all, it's an adventure, maybe we'll find treasure, or at least a pretty rock. Luna, sitting in the back of her nose buried in her phone, just scoffed. A rock. Sure, there ain't shit out here but sand and bones. And then the sky exploded, without warning, without a sound. What the fuck? He scrambled out of the van first, shielding his eyes with his hand. The others piled out after him. The light was blinding. The air shimmered and goosebumps prickled their skin. A wormhole hung in the sky, massive, over a kilometer wide, emitting a low, near, infrasonic hum, like a giant bell tolling somewhere far away. Luna stood gaping, her phone slipping from her hands and sinking into the sand. What in the actual fuck is that? She whispered. I've only heard about shit like this in horror stories. Damn, this is as vulgar as Helluva Boss itself. Moxie squinted, covering his eyes with his sleeve. That's not a normal portal. It's a rift. A genuine tear between worlds, like the kind that forms when we use a grimoire. But this is strange. Different. Billy squealed with delight and started hopping in place. Whee! We're getting sucked into another dimension. I've always dreamed of this. Blitzo just cursed, staring upward. If we get sucked up right now, I'm gonna personally find whoever did this and shove that portal right up there. He didn't finish. Something began to fall from the center of the wormhole. Slowly at first, then faster. A dark speck growing rapidly before their eyes. Honestly, you can't see my cursor, but like that big, red beam of light kind of reminds me of Argent energy. Anyways, let's continue. The crimson rift in the sky began to shrink rapidly, as if someone were stitching a wound with a giant needle. A final blinding beam of light struck the wasteland, and from it, tumbling through the air, fell something huge, dark, and heavy. Millie, shielding her eyes with her palm, was the first to make it out. Look! Someone fell out right before the hole closed! She shrieked, bouncing up and down and pointing towards the distant cloud of dust. He's lying there! Right there! And if that's some type of new new type of war monster, I officially quit. She grumbled. Nope, resignation denied. Let's move, and keep your guns ready. If that thing moves funny, we shoot first. Maybe this is a bad idea? Squeaked Moxie, scared more than anyone. What if it's a monster? A real one, with fangs and tentacles? Fucking Moxie, shut up! I'm freaked out enough without your help. They walked fast, almost running, kicking up clouds of strange dust. The wind carried the smell of burnt metal and something strange. Ozone, blood, and something not from hell. When they reached the crash site, the scene before that made even Blitz's jaw drop for a second. There was a noticeably large crater. Desert dust still swirled around the pit. Dang. They got closer and saw it. In the center of the crater, on the fused sand, lay a figure. Tall. Very tall. Massive and powerful. In heavy, dark green armor, the likes of which none of them have ever seen. Angular. Massive. Covered in the scars of battle, dense scratches, black stains of caked blood. The helmet of a narrow T-shaped visor was intact, but deep cracks were visible on the chest plate. Steam was faintly rising from beneath the armor, as if the body inside was still boiling from the heat of the fall. The figure didn't move, not a sound, and no breathing could be heard, only a faint, almost invisible green glow in the gaps of the armor. Is that human? But how the hell did he get here? Sinners don't drop from the sky in full armor. Moxie gulped nervously. Sir, maybe we should approach all together? What if he gets up right now and... Oh, shut the fuck up already. Blitzo stepped forward first, rifle at the ready. Hey, you alive in there or what? Silence. The squad moved closer together. On the helmet, right above the visor, a symbol was engraved. Strange, angular, looking like a layer T smoldering flame. Oh, the symbol of the Slayer. A pause hung in the air. Then Blitzo suddenly grinned his signature manic, smile. I got an idea. Load him to the van. We take him to the office. If he looks up and starts starting shit, we shoot him. If not, we figure it out. Either way, this is gonna be interesting. He clapped his hands. Well, what are you standing around for? Billy grabbed the wags, Moxie quit whining, grabbed the armpits. Luna, look out. And if you drop this heavy-ass thing, I will personally fire all of you. They exchanged glances. Then with a shrug, they started walking toward the van, leaving the entire burden to Blitz. Heavy. Very heavy. But alive. and none of them could even conceive that they had just picked up the most dangerous being to ever walk through hell. Okay, I just want to say it. Up ahead might be AI art. Is it AI art or is it actual art? I don't know, man. But you know what? We're going to assume it's art for right now, and it does show Doom Guy's face, which technically we've seen Doom Guy's face. So, yeah. At first, there was only darkness. Warm, soft, almost cozy, and then light. What the heck is this? Doom Guy stood on a sunlit lawn in front of an old wooden house. Grass tickled his bare feet. The air smelled of apples and freshly cut grass. What the heck? Onto the porch, his wife, in simple light clothes, her hair blowing in the wind, laughing and waving at him. Beside her, their son, small, freckled in a black t-shirt, running toward him, screaming, "Daddy's home! Daddy's home!" He catches the boy, tosses him up, catches him again, and presses him to his chest. His heart overflows with such joy that it almost hurts. He hadn't felt this in so long. 10 years? 20? Time and hell flowed differently, but the pain? No, the pain remained the same. What is happening anymore? And then the ground vanished. He was falling down into absolute blackness. Only his wife's voice and his son's laughter echoed in his ears, growing quieter further away, just to see them one more time alive. Okay. Just want to clarify, I have not gotten this far in the demo yet, so I don't know what's going to happen next. Either way, it's going to be experience for both of us. Oh yeah, and let's see here on the bottom, dictionary. That's essentially just like, if you're confused about certain things, you can read that. Yeah. Sometime later, IMP office. A sharp, painful jolt. Is this an Undertale song? Oh, this might be an Undertale song, but I'm not even sure anymore. Actually, the part where, like, Doom Guy fell into the crater, that might have been a Doom the Dark Ages song, but I'm not sure. I'll just see you later. His eyes slowly open. What the heck is happening? Bruh. Why is his entire body covered in bandages? Did they take off his suit? Oh my god. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sorry guys, my throat's starting to get a bit sore from all this yapping. Anyways, let's continue. And a wide, slightly deranged grin leaned over him. Jesus Christ. What the heck is happening? In his hand, 2 huge white pills and a glass of water. Oh, you're up. Kick ass. Open wide. We're gonna patch your ass up real quick. Bliss spoke cheerfully, already prepared to shove the pills right down his throat. Did you take off the helmet? Doom Guy blinked. The world around him was alien. A ceiling with a clacked fluorescent light, while its plaster of posters read, "We'll kill anyone for your cash." The air smelled of coffee, gunpowder, and something sweet. He was lying on an old, sagging office sofa, his chest and arms wrapped in bandages. I don't think it was just his chest and arms, that was his entire body. There was almost no pain. The wounds had closed incredibly fast, as if stitched by an extra-handed. Quick note here, I think Doom Guy's just too angry to feel any pain in Doom Eternal at that point. Plus, doesn't he just have a healing factor or something? I don't know. An anxious voice sounded nearby. "Sir, stop! We need to talk seriously. He is not who you think he is." Moxie literally clung to Blitz's arm, dragging him aside. Blitzo waved him off and... oh crap, I'm saying the... annoyingly, but stepped away nonetheless. And the 3 demons, Blitz, Moxie, and Millie, huddled in the corner, beginning to whisper furiously. Well, yeah, the Doomslayer's right in your room. Doom Guy sat up slowly, looking over himself and the room. He wasn't wearing his armor. There we go. See, that's a question answered. He sniffed the air and looked around, but couldn't detect the scent of his suit anywhere. Only perfume and the smell of sweat mixed with the stench of hell, which didn't even make him bat an eye. His body ached, but not as badly as it should have after battling literally God in his universe, or his strongest foe. He was alive, and that was strange. He can't die. Jesus Christ, this is actually reminding me of Doki Doki Literature Club. Jesus, this is actually reminding me of that. Just how it looks right now of the PNGs and the characters, it's exactly that. This is cool, man. The demon's voices reach him in snatches. Did you notice he's not a sinner at all? That is a human, a real living human. What in the hell is he doing in hell? You just said it 2 times. Moxie hissed, nervously fidgeting with his tail. I saw everything. Millie jumped in, waving her arms. When the portal closed, he fell right out of it, straight from the sky. He's definitely from the human world. I read in the book that this happens when dimensions rub against each other. You guys deal with it. Luna tossed out laser from the reception desk, never looking up from her phone. I'm already swamped with calls. It's like all of hell decided to off someone today. See, sometimes it... Doom Guy slowly turned his head, studying them. Demons. Ordinary demons, the likes of which he had killed countless multitudes, but... different. Not the ones that tore his family apart, not the ones he slaughtered by the thousands. These ones talked, argued, fussed. One tried to feed him pills, another was panicking, the third was bouncing with excitement, the fourth was just working. They treated him. He ran his palm over the bandages on his chest. Someone had taken the time to patch him up. Someone brought him here, didn't kill him, didn't eat him, didn't leave him to die in the wasteland. You can't die. He had ended up in another world. That was obvious. And for the first time in many years, Doom Guy didn't know what to do next. Is this not going to be a virtual comic? Is it still going to give me options? Is that why they're saving? Blitz finished chewing out his team, brushing off Moxie, who was still trying to explain something about danger and responsibility. Jeez. What? This is crazy, man. They straight up are just... I'm surprised he doesn't still have his helmet on. And then he heavily flopped onto the sofa next to the human. The man sat upright like a statue, back straight, hands on knees, his gaze slowly sliding across the room from the tire posters to the coffee stains on the table. There was something wrong about him. Too calm. Too heavy. I've kind of figured Doom Guy'd always be angry. And when he just breathed, the air around him seemed to grow denser. He's the straight-up Slayer. Blitz opened his mouth to bombard him with questions. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Do you even know you're in hell? The human beat him to it. Wait. He talks in this? Damn. He doesn't usually talk, but okay. His voice was low, rasping, as if the man rarely used it. It's actually kind of true, actually. It's kind of how his voice sounds like. Where is my... gear? Blitz froze for a second. Then his eyes went wide. Don't tell me he got soul. That would just be funny. Because I think bro might actually kill you if you did that. Are you serious? You're worried about your damn junk? You weigh like a fucking tank. I nearly died dragging your ass in here. I had to strip that armor off you all by myself, which, by the way, I almost crushed my fingers. I was the one wrapping bandages while this freak stood there staring like it was a freak show, and you're asking about your gear? He threw his hands up theatrically, his hair whipping irritably against the sofa. The human didn't even blink. He just turned his head slightly, as if assessing how serious the imp screaming really was. Silence fell. Long. So long that even Moxie in the corner stopped whispering his fears to Millie. Silence fell. Long. It's just repeated dialogue. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let me just pause. Okay, well, it appears the demo was kind of glitching. So, we'll just have to make do, I guess. So, yeah, this is not the one that's there. Finally, Blitz exhaled, leaning back against the sofa arm across his arms. Alright, what do they call you anyway, Iron Man? The man remained silent for another second. He couldn't even remember the last time he told anyone his name. But this imp, the strange, loud, red imp with the stupid grin and eyes that held something painfully familiar, fatigue, anger, loneliness, for some reason, didn't make him want to stay silent. Is his name actually Flint Haggard? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need to check. His name is actually Flint Haggard. I didn't know that. His voice was steady, but something inside him trembled. That is crazy that his name is that. Blitz grinned broadly, revealing sharp teeth. And I'm Blitz, the yellow silent, remember that. Used to work at the Lululand Circus till I got the hell out of there. Now I run this dump. He waved his hand towards the room. Welcome to IMP, buddy. We keep it fun here. Flynn nodded silently. He didn't know what... See, every single time it says Flynn, I'm just gonna say Doom Guy since... Well, come on, man. I'm not gonna say all that. Doom Guy nodded silently. He didn't know what IMP was. He didn't know what Lululand was. But the word buddy sounded... strange. Warm. Blitz stood up and stretched, his spine cracking. Anyway, make yourself at home. Don't touch anything that explodes, which is basically all Millie shit. Don't spook Moxie, and he's already a nervous wreck. And if you want coffee, help yourself. Just don't tell Luna I said it was okay. We're gonna be swamped soon, so I'll holler at you. He clapped Doom Guy on the shoulder. Oh my god. Oh god. The man didn't even flinch. Blitz walked off to his office, humming some circus tune under his breath. And Doom Guy remained seated, alone, in an alien world. With a name he had spoken for the first time in millennia, and with the feeling that, perhaps the first time in all his ages, he wasn't entirely alone. Suddenly, a crimson glow tore through the air in front of Doom Guy. The familiar hum of energy made the office windows rattle. A portal, an exit, a way back, or perhaps into another battle. Doom Guy froze. On one hand, the familiar war, the eternal fight he was created for. On the other, the strange world, the ridiculous circus and obscure feelings that seemed long forgotten. I knew it! I knew there was choices! I knew there was choices in this! So we could choose to enter or just stay. Okay, is this gonna be kind of like Infamous or something? It's where it's like, this is technically the good decision and this is the evil decision? Huh? Huh? Either way, I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save, because I can, and we're gonna stay. The portal hissed, shrinking into a dot, and vanished with a quiet pop. Silence returned to the office. Doom Guy lowered the hand he had started to reach toward the rift. No, not now. There is work here. There are demons, albeit strange ones. And here, for the first time in a long time, he was offered coffee, not an attempt to rip his head off. He settled more comfortably onto the sofa. That's the end of the demo. Alright, pretty cool. We're not done yet, though. We're not done yet. I'm not done. Oh my god. It is so hard. Bruh, let me. Oh my god, this is hard. This is hard when you can't see your cursor. So yeah, we're gonna actually choose to enter. Actually, I'm gonna resave here. We're gonna see what happens if we enter. Doom Guy made a choice. What the heck? The world twisted into a spiral. The hellish office vanished, replaced by the bright, eye-stringing glare of fluorescent lights. What the heck is this? Doom Guy blinked. Before him was not hell, and not Mars. It was a room filled with monitors, coffee mugs, and people staring in horror at the 2 meters tall Slayer materializing in the middle of their meeting. One of them reached a timidly hand toward a keyboard trying to close a code window. Is one of them playing Halo? Doom Guy slowly, with a metallic clank, pumped his shotgun. The single eye visible from the visor narrowed, scanning this chaos. What the hell are you doing? That's the super shotgun, not the combat shotgun. The developers gulped. And how do you cock it? Where are the demons? Where are the guts? Why is that imp so talkative? He aimed the barrel at the writer. You have 5 seconds to explain. The clock is ticking, buddy. Oh, it's just an ending. Huh. That's a pretty funny ending. Like, actually, it's pretty funny. It's kind of like a fourth wall break, you know? Anyways, people, that's gonna wrap up today's video. This was Helluva Doom. This is Helluva Doom demo, and yeah, hope you guys liked it. Alright, this is Ghoul Gaming, and I'm gonna